candidates for participating and coming out tonight. And we'd like to thank you for coming out to this debate as we hear and get ready to hear from our candidates. We want everyone to take a seat, and I want to go over just a few little things. But before I do that, I want to bring someone up that's very special to this area. She's currently Executive Director of the African American Arts and Culture Complex. She's our Commissioner at the San Francisco Fire Commission. She's our former San Francisco Redevelopment Agent Commissioner, London Bree. Give her a round of applause.
How many more mayoral debates can we stand, right? But, you know, I think the more the merrier, because we have a really tough decision ahead of us, and I'm really, really interested in hearing what they have to say today and what they have to say tomorrow, because they're going to be representing San Francisco for a long time. I want to thank the candidates who are here. Thank you all so much for coming out to our community. This community is near and dear to my heart because it's the community that I was born and raised in. There are some very important issues on this agenda that we want to make sure that anyone who's going to be mayor of San Francisco deals with these issues appropriately. And that means not just talking about it, but what are some of the things that we've done that demonstrate your ability to do it. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy to welcome all the candidates. I'm happy to welcome you all, whether you live in the Western Addition or anywhere in San Francisco. You are always welcome in our community anytime. After this debate is over, which I think will be a nice and lively one, feel free to stop at Rosello's or 1300 or Sheehan's Lounge and enjoy our amazing restaurants. Thank you all so much for coming tonight, and I'm truly looking forward to hearing the candidates speak. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your words. Let me quickly speak to you about the Lower Fillmore Neighborhood Association. One of our goals is to create a forum for discussion. Some would say that Fillmore is a splinter district where you have the Upper Fillmore, Lower Fillmore, and the Middle Fillmore. But what we attempt to do is to bring the coalition of associations together, as well as the businesses and everyday quality of life issues that affect us all. And that's why we're here today, to hear from the next mayor, or one of the next mayors that will be mayor of San Francisco. So again, the Lower Fillmore Neighborhood Association, now we thank the coalition that helped put this together. I have to say that, first of all, I want to thank Reverend Trammell, the West Bay, for allowing us to use this facility. We also would like to thank the Democratic Five Club for also participating and joining on with us with this. We'd like to thank the African American Democratic Club for being a strong voice in our community and co-sponsor and participating with this mayoral debate. Give them a round of applause, please. And we'd like to thank everyone who helped create our blog and create the questions that we're about to pose for the candidates here tonight. So, the ground rules. Now, the ground rules is strict to our candidates tonight. What we're having is each candidate will give an opening statement, and each candidate has 1 minute and 30 seconds for that opening statement. We're going to start out. Our public defender of San Francisco, Mr. Adachi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Landry. And I'm very honored to be here with you, with all the candidates, to talk about the vision that we all have for the city. San Francisco is going to need a bold mayor, because these are difficult times, and you know that. We face San Francisco with record deficits. We face a city with problems that haven't been dealt with. That's the bad news. The good news is that we can solve these problems. It's not a problem in San Francisco knowing what the solution is. It's making it happen. Everything about my background has been about somebody who cares and is going to work to make change for people, by people. I grew up in Sacramento. My father's an auto mechanic, my mom's a lab technician. I grew up in a lower middle class household. I started working when I was 11 years old. Went to public schools, high school, city college, worked my way to UC Berkeley, graduated in ethnic studies. I began working on a case of an innocent man who was on death row. I worked on that case for 7 years as an activist and got him out. Decided to become a lawyer, became a public defender, rose to the public defender's office to be one of the top trial lawyers, became the chief attorney, and then became the public defender. I fought the machine to get elected. I had to make sure that the 25,000 people that are represented by the public defender's office receive the representation that they need. Now, I want to make sure that the people of San Francisco get the representation they need. The programs that I have championed, the Clean Slate program, right here in the community, the Momantic program, right here in the community, and even the bigger battles that I've taken on, like pension reform in San Francisco, have been tough battles to win. Thank you.
Good evening, it's great to be here. My name is John Avalos. I am currently on the Board of Supervisors representing District 11, which is the Excelsior, Lakeview, and Crocker Amazon neighborhood. I am running for mayor in San Francisco. I know that's very obvious, but for me it's very inspiring to say that. My work to get to this point of running for mayor has been, I would say, 22 years in the making since I've been in San Francisco. I got to this city in 1989. I had about $1,000 in my pocket. I knew about 4 people. I had a living room floor to sleep on for a little while before I found my first apartment on the corner of Haight and Webster Street, where I lived for a couple years. Now I'm running for mayor. And the difference between 1989 and 2011 is what dreams are made of, that someone can come here with little and be able to create a career for himself or herself. But not everyone has that opportunity here in San Francisco. And we're seeing a city that is dividing more and more between the wealthiest and driving out people who are middle class and working class. And we need to change that. We have a diminishing African American community in San Francisco, and heretofore, through the past 3 administrations, including the current one, we have not done enough to address that issue. We need to be looking at how we can diversify our economy to make sure we have green and blue-collar jobs to support not just the tech industry, but to support all of our diversity here in San Francisco. We need to be building more housing and improving our parks and making them safer and improving our schools. And these are the things that I care deeply about. I have 2 kids in public school. My wife's a public school teacher. We know exactly what families are facing, and we're choosing to stay in San Francisco because we know we can build on the assets we have here to improve the city for everyone and all kids, and a future for everyone who lives here in this city. I want to make San Francisco City Hall more transparent. I want to make sure that people have access there, not just to make their voice there, but to have it heard and make sure that their voice is acted upon. That's my history of working at City Hall. I'm a social worker, a community organizer, a labor organizer, and I use these skills to bring people together to make improvements in all of our lives. That to me is what change is all about, is that we can work together, unite our communities together to work towards successful, meaningful change. And for me, it's making sure that our working class, middle class people can have a go here in San Francisco and can expect to grow old here with lives and dignity. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Terry Joan Baum, and I am running for mayor because I'm fed up with the corrupt Democratic Party machine that is running San Francisco. And I believe that a green mayor has the best chance to break up this machine so that we can build a truly humane and sustainable city. I'm a pioneer lesbian playwright. I've been a homeowner for 33 years, and I've been involved in progressive politics my whole life. This Democratic Party machine is right now trying to shove our next mayor down our throats with this phony grassroots Run Ed Run campaign that was actually bankrolled by businesses that have very lucrative contracts with the city of San Francisco. This Democratic Party machine gave a tax break to a very rich corporation, Twitter, at the same time as it reduces benefits and services for all the rest of the citizens. This is becoming a city for the rich, not for us. And the Fillmore, this very special neighborhood, which has the incredibly diverse population of every single income level and every single race and ethnic group, is so vulnerable to this possibility of becoming so gentrified that it loses its spirit, its soul, and the incredible warmth and friendliness that is a result of its history as an African-American neighborhood. San Francisco cannot solve its problems on its own. We are part of a nation that is spiraling down in a frenzy of greed and fear. Electing me as the mayor, me, Terry Joan Baum, a Green, will send a message and change the political discourse and open it up on the left for the voices of all of us. It is time for San Francisco to woman up and become the city that outsiders think we already are. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you. I'm Bevan Dufty, and I have been a supervisor for 8 years, and I was the director of neighborhood services for 5 years under Mayor Willie Brown. And one of the great things about having all these forums is you get to say if we say the same thing everywhere. And so whether I've been at UCSF, or the Irish American Cultural Center, or at the Examiner today, I believe the next mayor of San Francisco needs to have a black agenda. And we live in a city where the first thing people would tell you is, this is a beautiful city, and this is a city whose diversity I love. And this is a city where the African American community is in crisis. And everybody up here can tell you what's not working, but few people have led the path that I've had. I had the privilege of growing up in the black community in New York City. My godmother was Billie Holiday. My mom worked in the civil rights movement for A. Philip Randolph and then for Dorothy Height with the National Council of Negro Women. And my first job coming out of Berkeley was for Shirley Chisholm, the first African-American woman in Congress. And so I can tell you, being mayor in San Francisco for me is a day in and day out agenda. This community is much more multi-ethnic than simply African-Americans. I understand that. But the reality is that we have lost something in San Francisco. And we have the ability, if we work on a daily sustained basis and build capacity for our organizations, create life campuses at our public housing, talk about who we have hired that is African American on our staffs when we have the opportunity to hire people. And I can tell you, when I was director of neighborhood services working for Mayor Willie Brown, Naomi Kelly, I hired her. London Breed, I hired as an intern to work with me. Jimmy Harris, who's now at PG&E. Yolanda Harris, Kimberly Pittman, Raj Norris, Levon Barnes, Seth Stewart, who's now an assistant district attorney. And in my own supervisor's office with only 2 staff people, Nicholas King and Alex Randolph. We are in crisis, and they are things that we can absolutely do, and I'm looking forward to talking about.
Thank you. Is this on? Can you hear me, folks? Can you hear me? All right. Well, good evening. Thanks for coming out here. Devin, let me use that mic, please. There you go. That's a little better. I'm Tony Hall. I'm running for mayor to be the first mayor in over 20 years who's not running for higher office, but it is here to serve people, not politics. A little bit about my background. I was born in Los Angeles. As a result of my work down there during the Watts riots, I was brought up here by the Civil Service Commissioner as a minority recruiter. There's not many people in this room old enough to remember those days, but I was very successful in employing 3,000 minorities with the city and county of San Francisco over the course of a year. Joe Alioto noticed that, put me on his staff. I worked 2 years there, then became the chief administrator in the district attorney's office, budget analyst for the Board of Supervisors, Port Authority director, or personnel director, went to the courts for 15 years as an executive officer, then ran for the Board of Supervisors. Those of you who know me know I keep my word and know I'm very direct. My intention here in running for San Francisco is to return this city back to the power of you, the people. I will immediately set out to reprioritize our administrative policies to ensure that you, your families, and your friends are safe, protected, and once again feel proud to live in San Francisco, a city that I want to return to its destiny as one of the greatest cities in the world. We have a lot of problems, folks. We have a lot of debt on our hands. You're going to hear more about that tonight as we move on. But you can be assured of this. If you elect me mayor, I will be working for you and putting your interests ahead of politics. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joanna Reese. I moved to San Francisco 18 years ago to raise my family. I came here because of the diversity of the city, the inclusiveness, and I always thought of San Francisco as the innovation capital of the world, whether that was food or social justice, the arts, and technology. I am an entrepreneur who founded a venture capital firm with no venture capital experience. I had a new approach to investing and supporting in entrepreneurs. And I've since supported more than 60 Bay Area companies who have created thousands of jobs. I've spent more than a decade working on public education reform, bringing innovative solutions to support teachers and improve student outcomes. Before I ran, I spent 2 years going neighborhood by neighborhood and just listening to people in the community. Since then, I've met with thousands and thousands of San Francisco residents at morning muni stops, along merchant corridors where I've had direct conversations with more than 600 merchants, going door to door. We've knocked on 140,000 doors, and participating in community meetings and neighborhood talks. And I find so often in these discussions, I'm apologizing. I'm saying to people, I'm so sorry your child didn't get into a high quality neighborhood school. I'm so sorry you're moving out of San Francisco, or if you're African American, you feel like you're being pushed out of San Francisco. I'm so sorry that the cost of a license or permit to run your business has tripled. I'm so sorry that the cost of a parking ticket is so high, or you have to wait 40 minutes for the T-line, or the streets are dirty, or there's too many potholes. I'm so sorry that you feel like no one's listening to you. San Francisco is a great city, but we're not living our greatness. We need to embrace new ideas, and we need new leadership. We can be the model for excellence in public education. We can be the hub for job growth and innovation. And we can have an open government where people can understand how we spend their money, and we can hold our leaders accountable. I look forward to bringing that leadership to City Hall, and I look forward to the discussion tonight.
Thank you very much for coming to this important town hall meeting, debate, discussion, whatever you want to call it, but a gathering of different individuals throughout this community to just hear and to talk with one another, and also to hear the candidates. My name's Leland Yee, and I came to this city when I was 3 years old. Lived in a single room apartment with my mother and my sister, attended the San Francisco public schools, went to Commodore Stockton, Francisco Galileo, and then graduated from Mission High School. This is my city. This is our city. And this is a city that I grew up in. And I know this city extremely well. My father had a grocery store at Page and Lyon. I delivered groceries for him throughout this area. And when I was doing that, this area was a vibrant area. Fillmore, the Western Addition, the Haight was a vibrant center for the African American community. But over the years, we in the city have unfortunately started to push more and more of our children and our families out of here. How do we do that? When I was on the Board of Education, as a psychologist, as an educator, as someone who cared about kids, I was scratching my head as to if we really love our kids, if we want to help our students, if we want to educate them, why is it that when you have an infraction, you break a rule, maybe sometimes serious, the answer to that is you get that kid out of the school. You throw that kid out. It's called expulsion. And what do kids who are expelled from schools do? They hang out on the streets. They don't do a whole lot, they don't get educated, and they waste their lives away. And so I, on the Board of Education, said we're not going to do that. I, as one individual, will not vote for expelling our kids from our public schools. And then when I went to the assembly, I looked at a report. The report says that there are about 270 some odd youngsters in our prison, and they are in prison to die. They are incarcerated with a sentence called life without the possibility of parole. Our children are dying in our prison, and we in the city, in the state of California have a policy to do that. And I just passed a bill out of the Appropriation Committee that will turn that around. So that is the commitment that I have for young individuals, for the future of this community. If we don't take care of them, I will tell you that even more individuals and more family will leave the city and county of San Francisco.
Good evening. My name is Michaela Alioto-Pierre, and I am very happy to be here with you tonight. At the turn of the century, back in the 1800s, my great-great-grandfather moved to San Francisco from Sicily. He was 8 years old, he got on a ship and came over here all by himself. When he was 8, he got off at the wharf, found his first job lighting lampposts along San Francisco's wharf. He then went on, got his first job cleaning boats, the decks of boats, learned how to fish, became a fisherman, took that trade, saved his money, bought his first fishing boat, and then his second, and then his third, until he had a small little fleet of them. In the 1906 earthquake, when it hit, he took his boats and he took them out into the middle of San Francisco's bay, filled them with people first, and then took them all to safety into the middle of San Francisco's bay. And it was in that very last boat that he loaded up my grandmother, my great-grandmother. He had not met her yet. They sailed off into the middle and watched San Francisco burn and fell in love. They came back to San Francisco, helped rebuild this beautiful city of ours, a city that has given so much to all of us, so much to my family and to myself, that it is a real honor and distinction to be able to be here tonight with my fellow colleagues running for mayor of San Francisco. I'd like to thank you all for being here to listen to us, and I really look forward to this conversation and the discussion that's going to take place. As a member of the Board of Supervisors for 6.5 years, I spent most of my time and attention on issues related to job growth and job development. I created San Francisco's very first economic plan, which took a big picture of the city and figured out where we could create jobs and how we were losing them. We went on, created an office that takes a look at legislation and tells us if the legislation creates a job or kills one. As we continue the conversations tonight, I look forward to talking about issues that affect all of us. I look forward to talking about healthcare and job creation and safety and the future of our families and of our beautiful city. Thank you for having us all here tonight.
A round of applause one more time for Lady Evelyn.